Okay, I said I was going to try to explain this, and I'm going to tell it like a story, and try to put yourself in the perspective of the person in the story. Okay. Let's say you worked all your life, and then you always dreamed of going back to school, and then you finally get into school, and you have to take remedial classes because you weren't up to college level. So you struggle to get yourself up to 101 college level, and you finally get there, and then it takes you like 3 years to get a 2-year degree. And then you finally get it, and then somehow like a miracle happens and you get to get a bachelor's degree. And the whole time you're going to school, you're getting A's and B's, and you're just really doing great. And then you get to where you always wanted to be, and that was to learn about God and go to school. So somehow you get accepted into seminary college, and you exceed, and you do well, and you get A's and B's, and you're just, prospering in school and just getting, a lot out of it. And then all of a sudden you transfer to a school where you just can't believe it, because everything changes and your whole world shatters, and you become a F student, and you flunk, and you can't keep up, and you go from an A grade to an F grade, and you're quarter when you first begin, and it's like you're already kicked in the face and you don't even have a chance. So you're constantly trying to catch up because you don't get your financial aid, because the school denies you financial aid for 4 weeks and holds you back at the start line, and you basically can't get your materials so that you can be the best student that you can try to be with the proper resources, but you're not allowed, because if you are at a disadvantage, you're discriminated against and caused to wait and be delayed, and while the other students are able to pull the money out of their pockets and pay for all the supplies they need. So all of a sudden you find yourself with your back against the wall, and no matter how hard you try, no matter all the work that you turn in, no matter all the research you do, and you have these professors just like attacking you every time you come to class, and you feel like it's a secret society, and that they're out to get you, and that they're getting a bonus from flunking you, and that everything you say is being erased off the blackboard, and you're always in trouble if you speak the truth, and you have to pretend and lie and not, really speak your mind and stuff. And when they're talking about certain subjects, you have to be politically correct, and you know what's going on in the world. You know that people are being mind controlled, and you know that there's things that you need to be educated about, but you're not learning, and you're learning the stuff from 1800 theories, and it's outdated, and it's not going to equip you and help you with your clients. And so it's very upsetting, because you pay all this money and you can't get your money's worth. And then you have these angry professors who are in this like in a network where they all talk about you and try to hunt you down and get you to pay back. So you try to get yourself and do good, and but yet you have all these problems and all this you're trying to take care of your mom who has dementia. You're a single parent. You have an ex who's not participating. You have disabilities. You've been fired. You can't find a job. You have health problems. So it makes it more difficult. You can't barely walk. You have disabilities. You're dyslexic. And, on the other hand, you're trying to make a difference in the world, but yet you're blocked and censored. And then you have to fight for everything, every dime. You have to beg to be poor. You have to be on food stamps. You have to go to food banks. And, and then you get treated like you get discriminated against because you're one of the students who has to get financial aid. So there's a, retaliation against you to get rid of you because they'd much rather use your spot for someone who's wealthy and affluent who is going to donate money to the school and be, in the support all the charities and all that stuff. So, what are you going to do but suck up everything? And they don't want you around because they figure you're not going to get a really good job because most of the good jobs are involved with secret society. And how's anyone ever going to start and build themselves up and get a loan from a bank who's not going to give you anything because more than likely your credit's messed up because they blocked you and fired you and made sure you got stuck with all the medical bills and credit card bills so you can't pay for anything, and you have bad credit because credit and jobs are all together, so you can't get a job because you have to pay the employer and say, look, will you please hire me? And they look you up and we're like, well, can you afford this job? Because if you don't have enough credit for this job, then you can't even get this. Jobs are like credit cards now. Okay, you have to be approved to get a job with the credit line. And so that knocks every, bunch of people out, if you got bankrupt or whatever, if you had something happening in your life. So just imagine all this happening. It's a nightmare. And, all you do is fight and everyone hates you and you can't even go to the store without the cashier disrespecting you and discriminating against you for disabilities. Everyone, even your man, your family, starts to just basically, be ashamed of you because you can't work and because you don't have any money. And so basically you're just silenced out of society and no one gives a crap and you don't have any advocates. No one is lobbying for you. And so you just get pushed out of society. And if you even try to stand up and get a Ph.D., you might as well just sit back down because I can tell you the statistics on that of people with disabilities trying to get a Ph.D. is probably very low, especially if you're a woman and you're a minority. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know how that, but how do you face all this? Well, you face it with God and you know that God can make, any miracle happen and that He brought you this far and that He wouldn't just bring you this far for nothing and that, so you're obviously trying and that, what all that matters is what God sees and not what the world sees and they don't, the world's not going to reward people who are Christians and, because there's so many false prophets who really aren't doing much and, you just have to contribute, do the most you can until they basically remove you. And, who knows, there's so many people that are, in jail that are incarcerated and are in the industrial prison complex system where corporations, want to save money, so they basically contract people all out that are gonna, work for dirt wages like third world countries, but that's another video. So, so you get, another F and you just basically get kicked out of the school, and the teacher gets, a new mansion and some more, luxury cars, and they're, getting more money, and they're getting promotions, and while they're knocking down the poor, and it's never found out because it's all legal. And I know that I'm a good student, and I know that I turned in good work, but there's no way I could prove anything because my computers got crashed and I don't have the work anymore. And even if I did, it would just take for, I don't know how much bureaucracy and red tape I'd have to go through. So now I have to put in an appeal. It's crazy. I mean, just imagine how it feels. So I have to appeal to beg to be poor, to please, let me continue to go to school. It's like begging some plantation slave master somewhere, like the 1800s. But I better not make this video too long because I'm still trying to get other videos on that are only like 16 minutes and I can't even download them because they're blocked, and I have to break them down like in 3 to 5 minutes because I go on so long with my rants. So that's a little bit to let you know just really what's going on and how deep this rabbit hole goes.